And now that we have dispensed with the formalities, we're going to continue subject on Marcus Garvey because this is going to be another general discussions type recording. And yeah, this is going to be titled Marcus Garvey, the Symbolic Gesture. And when I say this is not meant to be a compliment because yet again, on August 17th, on Marcus Mosiah Garvey's birthday, I'm sure you'd be happy to know that Jamaicans have decided that how important Marcus Garvey truly is in the staples of our history and on the worldwide stage. And the government does declare that as of today, it will be a public holiday. And what's even better is that we are going to start having Marcus Garvey's teachings be implemented in various parts of society in Jamaica, such as racial pride, economics for the black community, and everything that will make us really stand out as a superpower within the black community. And not just Jamaica. This is going to be reflect on the whole diaspora of the world. If you genuinely believe what I said was true, okay, you're living in an alternate universe. Of course, none of that happened and as I've said before, this is not meant to happen. Because as you know, Marcus Garvey and throughout Jamaica, unfortunately, we don't see Marcus Garvey as what I said the title of this video is going to be, a symbolic gesture. Meaning that, yeah, we'll acknowledge Marcus Garvey, acknowledge that, hey, he did something for black people. We're not really too concerned what he exactly did because we don't really think too much of it. We just know that, yeah, it's just another day in the week. And then when after today, we're not going to talk about Marcus Garvey. Yeah, that's just pretty much how Jamaicans for on the most part seem. Now, I did know that the current Governor General went to Heroes Park and did laid a wreath at Marcus Garvey's tombstone. And I'm pretty sure that to most Jamaicans, that's also saying that we care and regard Marcus Garvey as the person he truly is, how important he truly is. Again, if you believe that you live in an alternate universe, that's just a symbolic gesture, which again is the title of it. Now, I said online correctly, I said, that's nice that you're doing laying a wreath, like you do that every year, of course. If you really want to honor Marcus Garvey, why isn't today a public holiday? Or better yet, why is it that again we're not implementing Marcus Garvey as again in various parts of Jamaican society? Alright, if you already know the answer to that, because they don't want to do such a thing. Yeah, to them, and I'm not going to get on those polls that be on this. We're going to get into the people after that. To them, Marcus Garvey is antithesis of what Jamaica is. I should say. Jamaica, as I've said, until my face turns blue, is one damn slave plantation. Yeah, you can delude yourself into thinking that after we got independence, that hey, that colonial system which Jamaica was created from, just went the way of the cavemen and the Neanderthals. You got to be stuck and stupid if you truly believe that. What they did was that, hey, we're just going to give you a more refined version of that slave plantation, and we put some of your self-hating Negroes who think that they are part of the oppressors class in position of power to crack the whip. Now, bear in mind those same Negroes who are in high parts of society, or are in the politics and whichever place where high prominence is a thing. They may believe that hey, we're Europeans in fact, but hey, they're still going to be answering to the actual Europeans. And someone like Marcus Garvey, who called things as it was, that isn't cohesive to what Jamaica truly is. Marcus Garvey, as they're concerned, is what he symbolizes, because it's not about the man himself. Marcus Garvey symbolizes what the colonial powers hate. Educated black man who's not going to make cow down, going to be subservient, and who's going to stand firm on his square on a consistent basis. Yeah, we do not want that kind of person here. And which is the reason why whichever empty suit government you put in power, whether it's the Green or the Orange Party, none of them are talking about, hey, let's just make Marcus Garvey a national holiday. Yeah, more between both parties, it will be Jamaica. There's a better chance of Jamaica snowing, Jamaica having winter than that actually happening. Cause and it's not like people aren't aware that there's a possibility we should do this, or that there are Jamaicans who actually have backbone, who aren't sellouts or cowards, wouldn't want that. Cause it's not just me saying this. But they're just going to say, yeah, we hear what a minority of you are saying, yeah, and we're just going to listen to the majority of people who think the opposite. No, I'm going to get into the masses of Jamaicans because y'all are to blame more for what Marcus Garvey truly is. Symbol has been reduced in Jamaica. Alright, if you go back history, in the last moments, days before, last years before Marcus Garvey passed away and became an ancestor, we don't. It's a very well known fact. No matter how much we try to hush it away, that Marcus Garvey left Jamaica not because not because that he was forced, as he said. It's because he has realized that hey, most Jamaicans weren't really rocking him with his message. I mean, and let's just be honest, he never did. Can remember when Marcus Garvey started off. Can remember the thing is that Marcus Garvey never intended to become a big thing in the U.S. Is the fact that a lot of Jamaicans said, yeah, no, we're not really on this black empowerment thing. Yeah, we don't like open racism. I mean, we don't like that. We don't like that system of open racial colonialism where we get denied certain rights. I mean, like we can't go to certain hotels, certain restaurants. Yeah, we'll put our foot down at that. But yeah, you see, we're not going to try and fully destroy that system. Because remember, it's more than just, hey, not having a certain person of the dominant society call it the N-word, whatever. It's also about having economic footing, having actual racial pride, and that we can do things of ourselves and prosper. That's what Marcus Garvey is about. And most Jamaicans said, damn it, to hell with that though. I mean, we want proximity to our slave masters. We want to be in those same hotels, those same establishments with massa and back row. I mean, we want to have that interracial sexual access to whichever Becky, Zaddy, whatever, or non-black person that we're hoping to be intimate with. Meaning, yeah, that's more important to a lot of Jamaicans and a lot of black people in the diaspora. And Marcus Garvey said, yeah, you know what, Jamaicans, yeah, we're my fellow Jamaicans, yeah. You can all. He basically gave most Jamaicans the middle finger and said, "Fuck y'all." Okay, I mean, like, Marcus Garvey said, I realize that hey, you're just basically you barely acknowledge me. You barely acknowledge what I'm trying to do. Why am I really going to be spending the rest of my years trying to? I'm trying to get you to use common sense. So fuck y'all. He didn't say that exactly, but that's what Marcus Garvey was thinking before he left to England. That he said, most of my Jamaican people ain't shit. I'll leave you to your own foolish vices. I mean, and yeah, Marcus Garvey rightfully predicted that, hey, due to the stupidity of too many of our fellow countrymen and women, that Jamaica is going to regress further and further throughout the generations. And he was right. And he basically said, I'm done with y'all. That is the very painful truth of what really happened there. And this is a lot. And the unfortunate thing is that up to this day, most Jamaicans on a general level are just as idiotic and as backward as many as the other generations before when it came to Marcus Garvey. Yeah, we don't see Marcus Garvey as just some man who said some things that sounded intelligent and resourceful, and then we decided that yeah, we'll pay it no, never mind, because we decided to revere these corrupt politicians or agents, I like to call them, who we keep voting for, regardless of which party. And I make sure to say that I'm not really saying which party is better or not. Both of them are pretty much two wings on the same bird. We're going to also uphold our criminals or not degenerates. I mean, the man that has so many duppies on him after being a down or gunman, or the DJ that sings about slackness or upholding those say or glorifying that same gunman or don, as I mentioned. Yeah, these are our national heroes. And if you think I'm joking on that, if they could actually get on put like say a certain criminal or a certain DJ who talks about criminality as a national hero, best believe a lot of people would vote for that. And yeah, I'm again, this is not a jest on my part. This is me being dead serious. That is the type of Jamaicans who have no little to no regard for Marcus Garvey. And yeah, I say this in the sense that yeah, you can blame whichever governments in power for the fact that hey, we just are not going to try and elevate Marcus Garvey to the status he truly deserves. But you have to blame the people even more because the people, when we put our foot down, we could have made them say, hey, Marcus Garvey is a national treasure to us. Not only is a national treasure, he is a valuable asset to the diaspora. We as a country should be proud that we produce one of the greatest men in history. And yet we just basically acting like swine with pearls. Like, and you know that saying that cast not your pearls onto swine, because like a swine in a pen is not going to see the value of pearls that are thrown in it. They're just going to see these are some objects that are just in our space that we are not having any regard or even care for. That's how we're acting right now. And this is again the main reason why Marcus Garvey barely gets any praise. No, last year you could probably give them a modicum of some leniency because last year, August 17th, there was a tropical storm. But regardless of that, the day before, the next day, we could have said, hey, let's make Marcus Garvey a national holiday, or at least postpone celebrations until a better day. We did not do that because, again, reasons. No, the year before, which I really went in on Jamaicans on a whole, this was a year when the current government decided to hold elections during the big C, of course. I mean, like, and there's no coincidence that many people, lacking any common sense or care, decided to violate COVID-19 protocols to wear the party colors on Marcus Garvey's birthday. None of them said, you know what? Let's not really. We're just going to not forget the elections. We're going to be. I mean, if we're going to do something stupid and reckless, we should be doing something stupid and reckless for the right person. I mean, like most people should have been out there saying, "Let's celebrate Marcus Garvey." Although, bear in mind, Marcus Garvey would have actually advised you all, yeah, don't violate the COVID-19 protocols. But thanks for acknowledging me on my birthday. But yeah, we said, hey, we were willing to risk our lives and our safeties for party colors. And yeah, and I know people are going to say, hey, this would look funny style that the Prime Minister decided to call the elections on this particular day. Let's just bear in mind those that, and for those who think that Andrew Holness was stupid or ignorant about that, he wasn't. He basically said, yeah, this is just another day. I mean, yeah, this is a guy that I pretty much don't care for myself. And to be fair, Marcus Garvey would not think much of Andrew Holness, and I'm saying it. Andrew Holness knows that too. Andrew Holness is the kind of person Marcus Garvey would be calling out in a heartbeat and saying how much he is a bootlick, a Negropean, and a traitor to his own community so as I said, don't be mistaken think that Andrew Holness did not know that what day it was when he said to pull that bullshit. But yeah, but the important what got me again is the people said COVID-19 be damned. Hey, the orange or green colors, I mean, yeah, that's more important than anything. I mean, Marcus Garvey, yeah, who's that guy? I mean, yeah, some guy that says some things that are out of date. That yeah, because according to too many of those people, like we live in this post-racial society where dragons, goblins, the Tooth Fairy, and Peter Pan apparently exist. And again, if you're dumb enough to actually believe that yeah, we're in a post-racial society, okay, please do not come into my space because I can't stomach such stupidity. But yeah, that was what got my eye rolling, and what most Jamaicans are saying. Yeah, we're just showing more time and time again. Marcus Garvey is not the thing in Jamaica. At most, he'll just be a symbolic gesture. He'll just be a guy that will just acknowledge because hey, he's part of history. And what do you want to say about the late Edward Seaga? And there's a lot of things to be said, good and bad. The good thing he did do was he did bring Marcus Garvey home, post mortem. Although it didn't really do much, because let's just be honest, Seaga did, as much like these other leaders, did nothing to really elevate Marcus Garvey and and uphold his message, or even like again do something as simple as giving his own public holiday. I mean, I give Seaga that modicum of credit in that, but outside of that, not much else though. But this is what Marcus Garvey on this day symbolizes. Jamaica, we love symbolic gestures. We like acknowledging the fact, yeah, we've had heroes and people of virtue who actually who sacrificed their life, freedom, their livelihoods, so that we could get off that damn slave plantation. And we don't give a shit about any of these people, apart from the fact that we just acknowledge them on certain days or certain months. We don't acknowledge their significance they upheld, and we sure as hell are not really going to take those significances and really adhere by them. Yeah, I mean, like in a country that where criminals and people were corrupt or at top of the food chain, yeah, we this is just a very telling moment of where we are as Jamaicans. And yeah, Marcus Garvey, with enough Jamaicans enough sense say Marcus Garvey, St. William Grant, who they've ignored even more than Marcus Garvey, bear in mind. Well, there a time when enough Jamaicans who don't believe that they're on slave quarters next to Massa are going to turn the tide. I'd like to think so. Is that likely going to happen? No. I mean, chances are I'll probably be an old man in a retirement home in a rocking chair before enough Jamaicans actually do that. I really want to be wrong in this, I believe in having guarded optimism. You hope for the best, but brace for the worst. So yeah, this is my general discussions thing about Marcus Garvey and the symbolic gesture that he's been reduced to. And each year, and yeah, 2 years ago, Jamaica blatantly showed you how little regard they have for Marcus Garvey. And years before that, after as well, though. Last year, yeah, again, you can say a tropical storm kind of stole the thunder. Well, no pun intended, but that's still no excuse. This year in 2022. We're still going to show. We're still saying we're not giving a good old college try when it comes to giving this guy this due props, and that's by design. And yeah, I'm not going to put this on the government or the powers that be for this, though. I'm blaming most of the Jamaican people for this. Just like I call you out for voting for these do nothing politicians, I'm calling you out for how little scant regard you have for Marcus Garvey. Because after the fact that he and many of his ilk did so much to ensure that we had a better future. And I was saying, yeah, we're thanking you by just basically giving you the finger right here. And Marcus Garvey, I'm sure from his grave, is still going to say, you idiots still do not get it, do you? I mean, yeah, you want to uphold that colonial system with these agents who are in parliament, who at this point are showing you their scorn and contempt even more and more. That's on you. When you continue to pay the price for your stupidity and folly, yeah, don't really say, okay, I mean, that's also on you. And Jamaicans, like I said, we're still okay with shooting ourselves in the foot, and we're okay with the fact that, hey, we will not learn from this. And as I said, if you had actually upheld someone like Marcus Garvey, not for the person, but for the ideology that he tried to teach, I wouldn't be making these recordings now, would I? But that's all I have to say. Happy birthday to Marcus Garvey, as always. You deserve better. And unfortunately, most Jamaicans don't disagree with me on that. So this was State of Jamaica in the Caribbean. Check out my other YouTube pages, Miles Gustin Farron, Miles Productions with Thoughts and Miles. Ciao.